to the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Preston North End here to take on Bolton Wanderers as anticipation builds ahead of the new EFL season. Still 2 weeks to go for Preston North End until they open the campaign away at Queen's Park Rangers. But for Bolton Wanderers today, this is the dress rehearsal. They begin next Sunday away at Stockport County in their Sky Bet League One campaign. Well, Preston North End with a number of new faces on show today. The likes of Adele Offia and Thierry Small have already had pre-season run-outs, but Michael Smith, fresh from arriving this week from Sheffield Wednesday, starts in Preston North End colours for the very first time. A centre forward who through the course of his career has found the back of the net regularly for a number of clubs. 30 goals in 161 championship appearances ahead of arriving at Preston North End to work under Paul Heckingbottom. We're taking a look at the sides then. Bolton Wanderers line up with Sharman Lowe in goal, Stakers Cogley, Towell, Johnston and Conway as a back four, Sheehan and Morley in the midfield, with Cozy and Dewberry and Mendes Gomez wide. McAtee will support Lawrence in attack for the home side. As for Preston North End, Daniel Everson in goal, Offia, Gibson and Hughes the back three, with Small and Brady expected to play wide. Whiteman, Potts and Frockyar in a midfield three. Smith, the new boy, partners last season's top scorer Milutin Osmajic in attack for North End, wearing the brand new and very bright third kit. Released or launched yesterday, will be released and available for purchase from the 8th of August, prior to North End getting their championship campaign underway down at Loftus Road. I'm your matchday commentator Guy Clark as we do get ready for this pre-season run-out. A healthy number of fans in attendance. The two sides who hope to have successful campaigns to come once the new season is underway for real. Will be Preston North End to get us underway this afternoon. Simon Mather, the referee in charge of proceedings. Brad Potts gets North End underway, rolling it back to Daniel Everson, who immediately sends the ball long. Nothing comes of the move. And it is through for a goal kick early on for Bolton Wanderers, a side who had a disappointing end to last season's League One season. They were in the running for a top six finish until the final run-in of the campaign, before eventually falling short. Offia here in possession for Preston North End, tries to play infield, it's picked up by McAtee. McAtee, who on the back of the net 12 times last season in all competitions for Bolton. He's won the home side, a corner inside the opening minute. And there has been plenty of movement with both squads, as there often is in the off-season. Bolton Wanderers here lining up this corner kick routine. Ball laid out to the edge of the box. Offia trying to stand patient in defence for North End as Lawrence tries to turn away from him. Comes infield. Finds the playmaker-in-chief for Bolton in Sheehan. Bolton trying to keep the pressure up. Frockyar back defending for North End. Eventually looking to link with Brady with a back heel, knocks it out of play. Throw-in taken into Morley. Cozier Dewberry, on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. On the right wing for Bolton. Ball here with Sheehan. To Dacres Cogley, looking for Cozier Dewberry. Looks to run infield away from Brady. Brady takes a heavy landing there. Bolton continue their attack. Brady's gone down here and immediately holding his side. It was an awkward fall there for the Irishman. Certainly seems to be in a bit of bother. The young winger, Mario Cozier Dewberry, ran infield and seemed for a minute as though he might get away from him. Brady recovered well, but as he reached in for the ball, landed. And he at the least has winded himself here. Hopefully nothing more. Awkward fall for the Irishman. Robbie Brady, who made his 100th Preston North End appearance at the end of last season. The 2-2 draw against Bristol City that of course closed out North End's campaign last time out. He is back to his feet now. It remains to be seen as to whether he's going to be able to continue. He is off getting some treatment here. Dacres Cogley. They throw to come. Andrea Vukcevic, who has been on trial with Preston North End, and yesterday it was confirmed to sign a 3-year deal. The 28-year-old Montenegrin international, he is going to be at least readied. He will sit warm and tight. Might be called upon. He was ready to come straight into the action. But it looks as though he is going to take a seat for a moment, and Brady's going to try and continue when he's welcomed back on. Frockyard filling in on the left-hand side where Brady has vacated. The Irishman back on now, though. Bolton with a throw that goes into the feet of McAtee. Frockyard dispossesses him, but he can't help but knock it out for another throw for the home side. Dacres Cogley into Cozier Dewberry. Now with Toll, the captain here, who takes on the armband. Ricardo Santos has moved on. The stalwart of Bolton's rise from the 4th tier back into the 3rd. Often perhaps a figurehead of their back line. He has now departed. Toll, the new captain, as Mendes Gomez on the left flank, put it through the legs of Offia there. Recovered well though, the Preston North End new man. And as it goes up to Michael Smith, his first involvement in a PNE jersey to win a free kick, holding off George Johnston well, and gets the free kick for PNE. Certainly no excuse for the North End players not to misplace a pass. They can't say they didn't see one another. The new 3rd jerseys, very bright, and as I say that, Daniel Everson pumps the ball out of play. Dacres Cogley. Into Sheehan, who tucks it back to Sharman Lowe, the new goalkeeper. Nathan Baxter had been the custodian between the sticks for Bolton last season. He now has moved on to pastures new. As the ball goes up to Lawrence here, the forward sweeps it out to the near side. Brady gets across well. Throw-in to come for Preston North End. Looks as though that's going to be a good battle on this near side between the experience of Robbie Brady, 33 years young, and the 20-year-old right winger, Mario Cozier Dewberry, schooled at Arsenal for last season, moving on to Brighton and Hove Albion, where he was immediately sent out on loan to Blackburn Rovers. And this year continues his education here at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Potts finds Smith. Smith able to turn and get North End playing forward. Across the halfway line here and now. The ball fed into Small. Small one-on-one up against Conway. Small trying to pull out some tricks here. Tries to get the cross in, it was blocked, but it will go behind. North End have their first corner of the afternoon. The chant of yellows rings around the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. North End hopeful. Inside the opening 8 minutes. Captain Ben Whiteman sends out the signal. Smith really helps add some physicality and height in the middle. As the ball is sent towards the new man, felt as though he's being held down. The referee not interested. And now with Offia. Brady on the diagonal, looking for Hughes. It curls away from the Welshman. Sharman Lowe collects well and then immediately distributes forward. Smashes it downfield for Cozier Dewberry. Tracked by Offia. Throw in for Preston North End. Hughes here with the throw. Smith nods it down for Potts. Back in a conventional central midfield role now. Small fancies himself up against Conway. Potts offers a underlapping run. Tries to cross first time. It's blocked by Johnston. And now with Conway. Smith involved again for North End there. Helping set a platform for an attack. Potts and Small linking as well on the right-hand side. It's been a few seasons now that Brad Potts has been used in that right wing-back role, readjusting and readapting to a central midfield position this season. Position in which he really did excel at Barnsley under Paul Heckingbottom. Dakers Cogley, an experienced right fullback behind a youngster in Cozier Dewberry on this right-hand side. You can see that Bolton are trying to really build a relationship down this right-hand side. The majority of their attacks do seem to be formed on this near side, certainly inside the opening 10 minutes. Brady throws it back to Hughes. Gibson to Offia. Daniel Everson back with Preston North End. Over 3 years since his last appearance for the club. Of course, had that successful season and a half loan stint with PNE. His last game coming in a fantastic final day of the season win over Middlesbrough at the end of the 21-22 season. North End looking to attack here though. Potts to Small. Back to Offia. That a brand new combination on the right hand side. Potts infield, wanted to see the ball come across his body, almost took too much time. Whiteman helped North End out of a tricky situation there, and now they've got it in too Small. Small sets it back for Offia. North End's new men keeping the ball between them. Small coming infield. Gibson, square to Hughes. Now Whiteman. Brady stretches the play on the left. Intercepted by Dakers Cogley. Throw in for PNE. Gibson at the heart of that back three for North End today. Equally as adept on the left-hand side, but that role Andrew Hughes' from the off today. Hughes into Small, tries to loop it infield for Smith. It's not going to stick, and Bolton take possession back. Then there's Gomez trying to roll away from Potts. The referee deeming there was a bit too much going on there. Free kick for Bolton. Takers Cogley into Cozier Dewberry. Frockyard pressing well on the left-hand side of a midfield three for North End today. And a front two of Osmajic and Smith. Frockyard playing a bit more withdrawn than that usual advanced midfield position he occupies. Lakers Cogley taking plenty of time here with the throw, launches it forward towards Lawrence, out-muscled by Hughes. North End beginning to really get a grip of this game. Bolton came flying out the traps. North End in the last 5 minutes or so beginning to see more of the ball. Bolton, of course, a week beyond PNE in terms of their preparations for the new season. Ball forward here for Osmajic, may well have been offside, but the flag kept down as Bolton keep possession. Johnston whips it forward here. Was looking for McAtee. Hughes does well to see him off. Everson into Gibson. Lewis Gibson, who recently turned 25. There's been a few birthdays in the PNE squad actually in recent times. Middleton Osmajic closing down there. He turned 26 in the week. As Toll gives it into Sharman Lowe. Ball forward here. Gibson sees off any threat. Does just tuck it back into Everson. Whiteman occupied by McAtee. Everson clips it out to Brady, who seems to show no ill effect now of that heavy landing he had in the opening stages. Andrei Vukcevic has sat back down and put his tracksuit back on for now as Frockyard in the midfield. First chance for him to try and open up the Bolton defence. His pass for Smith was wayward though. Bolton have possession back. Bakers Cogley trying to get away on the right-hand side. Frockyard's done well there after losing the ball to track him out to the near side. Toll into Johnston. George Johnston, who has both Liverpool and Feyenoord listed on his CV. Cozier Dewberry here manages to flick it away from Brady and thought he got change out of the Irishman. Couldn't quite keep it in play. And it is North End's ball. Hughes here with a smart turn to get away from Deshaun Lawrence. Everson taking the ball to the edge of his 18-yard box there, really did invite the pressure from Lawrence. Got it away in the nick of time. Whiteman now crashes it off his opposite man, and North End with a chance to reset at the back once more. Gibson to Hughes. Hughes hits that channel, and Osmajic gives chase. Too much for Johnston. Sharman Lowe out and able to deal with it. Ball forward towards Lawrence, who was in an offside position, and Gibson asking why the flag didn't go up. Officiating team feeling as though North End had the situation under control. Happy to let play run. Now this is the 5th game of PNE's pre-season so far. which of course started with the 1-0 win at Chorley. Stefan Tordarson scoring then of course came the emotional game at Deepdale with Liverpool, 3-1 win for the Premier League champions. Last week drew 0-0 with Getafe out in Spain, and then earlier this week a behind closed doors pre-season run out against Tranmere Rovers, who did win 2-0. Thierry Small there with a great burst of pace, gets down the right hand side. Osmajic tried to feed it back and Bolton managed to clear. Thierry Small showing glimpses and then able to beat his opposite man, and Osmajic unselfishly looked for Smith in the middle. Hughes is in the middle of the back three here for PNE. And sends it forward. Not a great touch there from Toll. Back to Sharman Lowe. Really does boom that one downfield, up to halfway where Brady is able to meet it. Sheehan into Morley. Cozier Dubry clips it forward here for Dacres Cogley. So often it's been the other way round with their combination play. Going for a throw here for PNE. Be pre-season, but even then Bolton fans not particularly enamoured with the ground that Brady was trying to steal on the throw-in, and it didn't work to PNE's advantage. A very loose passage of play there results in a corner to Bolton Wanderers. Not exactly what Paul Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall will want to see from their side in that build-up phase. It is a corner to come here for Bolton. Max Conway to take. Come through the academy here at Bolton, but last year spent his season at Crewe Alexandra, had a very productive loan spell there. And he's here now to take this corner. Sends it into the near post. Sent out to the far. No one there to meet it initially. Morley picks up the scraps. Morley cuts it infield, so the dummy there to Osmajic. Eventually his shot was blocked. Still awaiting a first effort at goal from either side. Nearly halfway through this first half. McAtee trying to get away from Offia. Conway's now made his way from the right out to the left and is able to help pick up the ball. McAtee lets it run across him on the edge of the box. Falls out to Morley, Dacres Cogley. Now Cozier Dubry. As Brady backtracking, skips past Frocchia, curls a shot on goal. And it's the first effort on target this afternoon. Cozier Dubry curling it straight into the midriff there of Daniel Everson. Frocchia, who was skipped past ahead of that effort, has gone down here. I'm not sure if a flailing arm may have caught him. He might need some treatment for a moment, and coming midway through this first half, a good opportunity for a brief drinks break for both sides. It's been a fairly even contest, what we've seen between the two sides thus far. Bolton Wanderers certainly starting the faster of the two teams and got a corner inside the opening minute. And not able to really threaten Daniel Everson though. He has just saved the first effort at goal. PNE have grown into this first quarter of the game as it's gone on. The best move happening down the right hand side. Thierry Small doing well to beat Conway. Found Osmajic in the box. He looked to tee it up for Smith when perhaps the Could have had an effort at goal himself. Michael Smith just having a brief word there with Daniel Everson. Two of them will know one another from their time at Rotherham United. Michael Smith also knowing Mike Pollitt before he came through the door here. I say here, but at Deepdale with Preston North End. Good experienced and solid option at the top end of the pitch to have come in this week, Michael Smith. Ball sent up to him now. A slight nudge there by Dacres Cogley. Referee happy that it was a fair and honest jump for the ball. Hughes nods down, sends it out of play. PNE back to their full 11. Frockyar returning to the action. Bolton this time last year were a side who had suffered defeat in a playoff final and were hoping to really build a campaign that could have seen them challenging at the top end of League One. Well, there was a managerial change with Ian Evatt replaced by Stephen Schumacher. For large swathes of the season, it did look as though they were within touching distance of a top six finish, and they were all the way until the final 6 games of the season, when their form really did drop off. 4 successive defeats before drawing the final 2 games of the campaign. Left them well adrift in the end. They finished in 8th place, 10 points behind Leyton Orient, who were the side who sneaked into 6th spot. And of course, Orient made it all the way to the playoff final, beaten by Thierry Small's then Charlton Athletic. Small now, of course, amongst the PNE number. North End ended their campaign winless in 8 championship games last season. The point away at Bristol City on the final day. That secured North End's championship survival and sets up what will be an 11 successive championship second-tier campaign for PNE, as Brady heads on down the left. Smith. Brady now finds Frockyar, edge of the box. Potts. Small's open on the right flank. Small takes a touch, and Bolton get bodies back. Offia with Small, which certainly looks exciting. Set back here now for a cross from Whiteman. That's certainly the first time PNE have opened up Bolton Wanderers within 20 yards of their own goal, but never quite looked as though it opened up for a shot. Small, who certainly has plenty of flair and energy about him. Also only 20 years of age. He turns 21 next Friday. Quick throw from him into Smith, the other end of the experienced spectrum. Wins a throw in here off Toll, the Bolton captain. North End with a chance here perhaps to load the box. Small throws it back here for Offia. Whiteman pings it back out to Small, but he was coming back from an offside position. And I think he knew it. His touch was loose in the end. And it will be a free kick here for Bolton. Interesting to know if Potts got into that kind of position again in the centre of goal, if he might have shaped to shoot himself. And he is, of course, readjusting to that central midfield role. He was known for his goal-scoring contributions during his time at Barnsley, working under Paul Heckingbottom. You wonder if that's something that can return to his game, as Osmajic tries to chest it off for Smith here. Now with Potts. One thing he certainly does bring to that midfield engine room is physicality. Offia. Whiteman sends it forward. Osmajic is offside. If he goes towards it, the flag may well go up. Indeed it does. Sent the ball down the right channel. Brady nodded it down. There wasn't anyone in yellow to pick it up, and Bolton have continued to come forward. Cozier Dubry sees his efforts thwarted by Brady. Cross then sent in by Morley. Picked up the other side here by Mendes Gomez. Trying to wriggle away from Offia. Morley. Now Dacres Cogley. Back here with Sheehan. Sheehan left of centre. North End able to crowd out the attacking effort off Bolton Wanderers, and as Offia there was ready to charge away from Sheehan. Across came the Bolton midfield man, who's going to get a word in the ear here from Simon Mather, the referee. I'm sure had that been next weekend, it would be a yellow card there for Josh Sheehan. But in pre-season, of course, we're all friends. Try not to get the cards out. Almost half an hour played here at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. A good number of supporters in attendance for this pre-season run-out. Between two sides steeped in history. The EFL founder members. Haven't met, of course, in league action since Bolton Wanderers were relegated from the Championship back in 2019. 6 years ago now. And they've been through some real hardship since then. Heading into what will be a 5th successive season in the 3rd tier, having dropped briefly down to the basement division. Cheers for a pocket of the Bolton Wanderers substitutes bench that go to warm up. Being pre-season and all, we could see many changes at half-time. 15 minutes to play till then, though. Free kick here for Wanderers. Sheehan over it. Floated it towards the far post. No one in white making the run to match it. And it is a goal kick for North End. Gibson gives it to Everson. A real fresh look to this Preston North End squad for this season. 9 players leaving on a permanent basis already, and that's before you add the 4 loan players from last season. 13 in all, and 9 so far. New faces have come through the door, all of those on permanent deals apart from Daniel Jefferson. He's the only loanee to arrive so far on the bench today for PNE. Could well see him in the second half. Dacres Cogley looking for McAtee, who run beyond the Preston North End back line. And a free kick for Paul Heckingbottom side. Certainly has been an active window for PNE. Jordan Thompson, who we're yet to see in North End colours, Daniel Everson, Paul Valentine, Thierry Small, Daniel Jefferson, Adele Offia, Michael Smith, Jack Walton, who arrived also on Tuesday, the goalkeeper. He's on the bench today. And Andrej Vukcevic, who was on trial with PNE out in Spain, came back to the Northwest with them, and yesterday rewarded with a 3-year contract. Could yet be more business to come as well. Morley into Sheehan, then out to Conway. Sharman Lowe, a England under-21 international, between the sticks for Bolton, on loan here from Chelsea. Something he shares on his CV with the former Bolton keeper Nathan Baxter. Well, he was taken to Chelsea from Burton Albion. Well, path all too often trodden. Hoffey here doing well up against Mendes Gomez. Hoffey was remaining patient and really let Mendes Gomez do all the work of turning himself inside and out. Hoffey then fending him off and just stepping to take the ball on. Did well to get a throw in for PNE. Won a second one as well. Small into Smith and takes it back. Small continuing down that right flank, and in the end needed two. The number 10, John McAtee, had to come across and help Conway out. Thierry Small really has had the number of the Bolton left back in this first half so far. It certainly looks like a real find for Preston North End. Peter Ridsdale speaking this week about how he's been a player that since PNE played in the FA Cup back in January, North End have been tracking that whole time. As he rolls it off here for Whiteman. Whiteman looks to cross. The two of them seem to get in a bit of a muddle there, Small and Whiteman. Whiteman was going to take it off his toe, but Small almost ran beyond him as he rolled it back to the captain. He was in an offside position, and the free kick goes Bolton's way. Frockia. Small feeds it forward. Potts trying to open his legs. Johnston did well to see it away. It's been a real adaptable formation. That's one thing to point out for PNE so far this afternoon. At times it's been a 4-4-2, and yet also had that ability to change into a back three. Robbie Brady's played deeper, Thierry Small on the opposite side. Adel Offey has been happy to move into that right back position, and Andrew Hughes comfortable in a back two alongside Gibson. Whiteman and Potts have anchored the midfield well together, and Maz Frockia's really floated out to the left well. Just playing off and around a front two here of Smith and Osmajic. Smith being the link man and Osmajic trying to go beyond, as there's a clash here between Toll and Smith. Smith really here isn't happy with the Bolton captain or the attentions of him. Did well to hold him off after that long ball forward to them, and a bit of after's carried on. The referee is just going to have a word with the two of them. A very high line here from Bolton Wanderers. The majority of their defenders only 15 yards or so set back from the ball, as Whiteman clips it here into the space for Brady. Touch over hit. Brady couldn't quite keep his footing. There was plenty of room into which Brady had to run there. The pass just a fraction overcooked. Those the kind of things pre-season is here for, to iron out. Ball up into Smith. He's looked after the ball really well today in forward positions. Small clips it in. Toll heads away. Heavy touch from McAtee. Frockia has it now. Looked for Potts, intercepted by Sheehan. Ball into Smith. Set off for Potts. Now with Andrew Hughes. Hughes to Whiteman. Whiteman trying to be inventive and flick it forward there through a closing gap. Baker's Cogley able to get back. It was a good idea from Whiteman, just didn't quite have the required execution. Johnston hits it forward. North End really now settling into a 4-4-2. As Osmajic, Potts, Small. Arfier and Small keeping it between them. He's a box of tricks, Thierry Small. Brady forward first time into Smith, makes something of very little there. Frockier having his shirt tugged out there. The referee did spot it. Thought Dacres Cogley was blindsided the referee and he wasn't going to quite spot it. But he did see it, and the free kick does go PNE's way. Six minutes left of this first half. What's lacking is some goalmouth action for PNE. Brady has it on the left flank. Osmajic flicks it up for Smith! Denied by Sharman Lowe. The front two there working in perfect harmony. Brady clipped it on. It was a neat flick from Osmajic, who just left it there for Smith to hit first time. Couldn't get it past Sharman Lowe. Goes down as a good save. Thierry Small now, getting away down the right-hand side. Low cross dealt with by Johnston. Arfier first time back in. Johnston there to deal with it again. North End are hitting their straps. Whiteman to Arfier. Back to the captain now. Whiteman from range. Another effort saved by Sharman Lowe. Whiteman didn't quite get the power he wanted on that. Best chance of the game though so far, falling the way of Michael Smith in his first PNE run out. Sheehan into Dacres Cogley. As Frockier has probably covered as much ground as anyone today for Preston North End. The way in which the formation has flipped and changed between a 3-5-2 and a 4-4-2 has meant there's been a lot of running from that central roll out to the flank for Frockier to offer support and balance with Brady behind him. It's that balance that allowed Brady to deliver that ball from the left-hand side. Osmajic working well with having a partner up front with him. Smith just couldn't quite find the finish. Ball back here to Sharman Lowe. Being closed down by Osmajic, got it into Morley. Aaron Morley, who spent the first half of last season away on loan at Bolton Wanderers, was jettisoned by Ian Everett. Came back to be quite a key player. Bolton trying to come forward here. Ball glanced off the top of the head of Andrew Hughes there. Dacres Cogley from right back made the run through, but he was trapped well by Brady. Game just opening up in these final 5 minutes of this first half. Mendes Gomez doesn't look after the ball there, and PNE tried to come away with Smith. He only had one option ahead of him, and that was Osmajic in the middle of a blanket of 5 in white. Bolton have it back. Dakers Cogley gets it into Cozier Dubry. Not only has Brady to try and beat, but Frockyar too. Mendes Gomez lets this one run and tries to beat Adel Ophir in a foot race. He struggled to find a way past the North End new boy. There's Carlos Mendes Gomez, the former Morecambe man. Has it here, Mendes Gomez. Feeds it in towards McAtee, tries to set it off for Lawrence. Covering well was Ben Whiteman. Ophir up to Osmajic. Brady with a smart idea there, trying to switch it for Small, who'd isolated Conway. Doesn't quite come off though. Morley immediately looks for Cozier Dubry. Two right wingers, the real key men for either side in this first half. They've been the outlets, they've been the players who both managers want their sides to get into the game. And Sharman Lowe reads well here. Comes a full 20 yards out of his 18-yard box there to sweep up. Given a big thumbs up by Stephen Schumacher. He won 7 of his 19 games after being appointed at the end of January, Stephen Schumacher. Of course, won League One 3 seasons ago now with Plymouth Argyle, and then moved on to Stoke City before being relieved of his duties at before the halfway stage of last season.
Today's added time.
1 minute added on at the end of this first half then. There goes the half-time whistle. Nothing to separate the two sides at the break here. Preston North End with the best chance of the first half, and it fell the way of the new boy Michael Smith as he makes his way down the tunnel. He forcing a smart save from Teddy Sharman Lowe between the sticks for Bolton Wanderers. After a great ball in from the left from Robbie Brady, Osmajic set it off. Smith couldn't quite put it past the keeper. Ben Whiteman also had an effort from the edge of the box, and a Mario Cozier Dubry has caused issues on the Bolton right. He had an effort saved by Daniel Everson, but at the break, nothing to separate the sides. It's Bolton Wanderers 0, Preston North End 0.
challenge from Vukcevic.
Andrea, welcome to Preston North End. You are officially a P&E player now. You've obviously been with us for about a week and a half. How happy are you now that you're a permanent Preston player?
First of all, thank you for your warm welcome. I'm really happy to be here. Since the day one, everyone has been kind to me since I joined them in Spain. So they helped me for everything I needed. So really delighted to be here.
I'm sure there was part of you that was a bit nervous for that first day in Spain because you were there before everybody else. So all of these people suddenly come into a room, but I saw you walk around and shake everyone's hand. You mentioned the welcome there. How good was it to get to know everybody so well that first week?
No, really good. As I said, so since the first moment, everyone received me with the open arms. So really happy.
And I'm sure you just wanted to get straight onto that training pitch to show the management and of course the players what you can do. Did you think that you did that in that week in Spain?
Well, I think I did quite well. So. I'm really looking forward to this new chapter and challenge ahead.
What was it about coming to England that kind of you were enthusiastic about? Why did you choose to come on trial with us?
For me, honestly, playing in England has always been something special to me. The atmosphere in the stadiums, fans, everything. So really happy.
And we've got your mate sat on the opposite side of the room there, Millie. I'm sure he had some part to play in this. Has he helped this kind of first process for you?
Yeah, Millie of course. When I heard about this, I talked to him, and he also told me about really nice things about the club, about everyone, players, coaching staff, fans, people in the club, everyone. So really grateful for this opportunity.
And you've spoken about the welcome that you got from the players. What did you make of them on the training pitch? Did you enjoy getting to know them in that way?
No, I really enjoyed working with them. It was like 7 days in Spain and now 2, 3, 4 days here so really happy.
And what about the manager? How's he been with you so far?
No, I already spoken to the manager, so really happy to be working with him, with all the coaching staff and of course with the players.
As part of that week in Spain, we of course had a match over there that you played in, and you saw about 400 Preston fans travel all the way from here out to Spain. Did that give you a kind of sense of the size of club that this is?
Yeah, it was really nice, to play for the first time in front of our fans. It was really exciting, I didn't expect that, so it was really nice.
And I'm sure this last 2 weeks has just been about you pressing to get yourself in this situation. What's next now for you?
Yeah, really, they welcomed me really well, as I said. So now it's I want to showcase my abilities, to show what I can do on the pitch, and I'm sure that we're gonna share some beautiful memories together.
I'm sure that the fans have been reading up on you and watching clips of you online. What can you tell them about your career so far and what kind of a player you are?
Well, I played in many countries, so I already have some experience. So I will try to transmit it to my teammates, and then of course I think that we're gonna all together have a successful season, no?
And you've also represented your country on a number of occasions. How special is that?
No, playing for my country has always been something special. You grow. That's like a dream, when you're a kid, you dream to play for your national team, especially in this sport,
And you mentioned already about having played in a number of countries before. Are you quite hopeful that because of that experience you can settle in here and just crack on with your football?
Well, I think that I already settled in really well. So from the first game, I felt like I'm immediately part of this club. So because everyone received me like really well, so happy.
And just finally, the season is coming around very quickly now. We're only 2 weeks away. How excited are you to get started with the real stuff?
No, really looking forward to it. So We have 2 weeks more to prepare ourselves, and then I think that we will be okay.
Bolton Wanderers get the second half underway. Preston North End with a change at the break. Michael Smith off as Mendes Gomez here winds up for a shot. Doesn't get a clean effort away. Lawrence tries to keep it alive for Bolton. Conway with the cross. Whiteman ducked underneath it and Brady had to put it over the crossbar. The change for PNE sees Smith replaced with Daniel Jefferson, wearing the number 9 for Preston North End. Bolton corner on the way. Sheehan to deliver it. Everson penned in on his line, couldn't come for it. It bounces through. And it will be a goal kick for North End. Ball up to Osmajic. Now with Sharman low. No change for the home side here at the start of the second half. This is a clash between Brady and Cozier-Dubry. Free kick goes the way of Preston North End. Well, Bolton begin their campaign next Sunday away at Stockport County. Somewhere they lost 5-0 last season. There were a number of big beatings along the way for Bolton last season. As Jefferson here tries to fashion something on the edge of the box. Whiteman clips it to the far post. It was a cross shot from the skipper in the end. After good work from Jefferson, sailed wide of the upright. After beginning at Stockport, Bolton then welcome Plymouth Argyle here, of course, Stephen Schumacher's former side. And then Sheffield Wednesday in the first round of the Carabao Cup before trips to Barnsley. As Bolton try to fashion something down their left. John McAtee drifting into an offside position. Off here with the free kick. The North End, it's a start away at QPR. Barrow in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Then back-to-back home games with the relegated two of Leicester City and Ipswich Town. So North End know they'll need to be at it from day one. Morley in the midfield. Dacres Cogley looking for Cozier-Dubry. Ball drifts out of play. Throw for North End. Hughes will take the throw for PNE. Ball up now to Brady, nods it into Frockyard. Jefferson able to keep North End going forward. Lindsay steps in and does well to win it. Whiteman overruns the ball. It was a heavy slide challenge. The referee happy to let it go. Mendes Gomez drops it off with Cozier-Dubry. Dacres Cogley makes the run beyond. And Hughes blocks it behind for the corner. Sheehan with the set piece then for the home side. As it's sent towards the far post, Johnston met it. Couldn't get a commanding head on it. Easily gathered by Everson. Let's go down. There's an effort on target though for the home side. 5 minutes into this second half. Potts plays it forward and he's caught late there by Mendes Gomez. And the referee, who has in the first half could well have booked Sheehan, looks as though he will on this occasion. Actually reached to the pocket as Potts cleared it. Mendes Gomez did leave a leg dangling, and it will be a yellow card for the Bolton winger. Carlos Mendes Gomez there, late with the challenge. And the free kick goes PNE's way. And it was their home form really for Bolton Wanderers that let them down last season. They ended up losing 8 times on their own turf, which was more than in both of the previous 2 campaigns combined. They lost 8 home games last season. Between the previous 2, they'd only lost 7 at home. It's their most home defeats in the season since they were relegated from the Championship. Wonderful control here by Cozier Dubry. Tries to get away from Hughes, goes down in the box. The referee had a look, decides it's a goal kick. Ball clipped forward from Sheehan into the Brighton low knee. Brought it down immaculately. Hughes tracked it. There was a coming together. The referee happy though that it didn't constitute a penalty. Offia looks for Small. Bolton have started in an assured manner at the start of this second half, much like they did in the first. There's Offia here, smashes it into McAtee. Collection of PNE players heading out to limber up. Perhaps ahead of a raft of substitutions. We saw against Getafe a lot of movement around the hour. And then, with about 20 minutes to go, Osmajic finds Jefferson from the angle. Hits it over the top. First chance for the front 2 in this second half to link. And Osmajic, like he did for Smith in the first half, the provider, laying it off for Jefferson. The angle wasn't kind, but the finish inaccurate. He hit it over, he went for power there, Jefferson. Sharman Lowe, a real tool and imposing character in goal for Bolton Wanderers. Jefferson decided that power was the way to try and beat him rather than placement, given the angle. Couldn't quite get it right. Cozier Dubry into Sheehan. Sheehan square for Conway. And now with Johnston. Toll. Dakers Cogley. Cozier Dubry tries to drive Robbie Brady back. Bolton happy to just settle here for a bit of territory. Morley. Back to Toll. Ball forward now for Dakers Cogley. Tries to chip it towards the far post, and Mendes Gomez looks as though he's going to make up the ground there. Tees it off for Conway. Conway into the box. Seeing who's supporting him. Sheehan the most available option. Sheehan now into Toll. Carries it forward from the back and don't quite know how to describe that, to be frank. Came forward and I'm not sure whether he was lifting his head to think about a shot or to clip it forward, but whatever it was, he took his eye off the ball for a moment there, Owen Toole, and fell flat on his backside. Whiteman square to Potts in the midfield. Now out to the right, first chance for Thierry Small to get involved in this second half. Sent it down the line looking for Frockyard, and as Johnston came across, he cleared it into touch. and smashed it straight into the assistant referee, Kevin Mulrain. With a wry smile across his face, he's back on his feet. Frockyar being held on to here by Sheehan. And now he holds on to the Bolton number 8. The two of them clashing here. And well, Sheehan has brought that upon himself really. He was just hanging round the waist of Maz Frockyar. Sheehan, who I said could have been booked in the first half, used to carry on like that in the regular season. That would have been a second yellow for him. He was beaten all ends up by Maz Frockyar. And Frockyar, he's just frustrated. Really a lack of professionalism from the Bolton number 8. Didn't need to hang on to him like that. And there will be punishment dished out here. Sheehan could have got yellow booked in the first half. He's booked now. And Frockyar's reaction, it wasn't right. He too will also take a yellow card. Tempers boiling over there for a moment. I know you're meant to say the kind of thing you don't want to see. But good to see even a bit of needle between two sides in what is a non-competitive game. As the game resumes with the ball drop down for PNE. Changes could well be on the way. Hughes back to Everson. As though Andrea Vukcevic is going to be coming into the action before too long here for PNE. He's just been fetched from warming up. Tordarson. It looks like Ali McCann also limbering up in the dugout. Offia. Goes down there by McAtee. Went down and immediately clutches at his left ankle. Medical team back out again. Been a busy afternoon's work for them. To see to both Brady and Frockyar in the first half, and now Adel Offia. As McAtee came across to close down, he did rather crumble Offia. You hope that isn't the ankle giving way on him. Given a decent impression so far through pre-season, having arrived from Brighton and Hove Albion last season, of course, spent the year out on loan with that club down the M55, and I don't mean Fleetwood Town. Back on his feet now though. I hope he can continue. 3 changes incoming then for Preston North End as Everson sends this one forward. Set back here, and Osmaic might well have got onto that. Dacres Cogley alert to the action. It was just teed back by Morley. Not sure he knew quite where Osmaic was, and as it evaded the captain Tal, it nearly ran through for Osmaic. Continuing. happening between these sides. The free kick goes the way here of Bolton Wanderers. Off here deemed to have been holding on to Mendes Gomez. Free kick for the home side. Scoring goals wasn't an issue for Bolton last season. Scored 67 in their 46 league games. It was at the other end they were rather leaky, conceded 70 times. As they look to go on the offensive here from this free kick, Sheehan whips it goalwards and Everson palms it down. And another effort on target for the home side. Daniel Everson, though not really tested to his limits so far. Potts into Whiteman. Whiteman tries to feed it in behind for Osmai. Sharman Lowe reads it, the keeper. Doesn't hit it into the stands, tried to send it forward. Now the ball's at the feet of Robbie Brady. Brady looking to play in behind for Jefferson. And Osmai having come to feet. You know some of the options that having a front two on the pitch offers players in possession. Not just one option at the top end of the pitch to try and play off. Hosier Dubry's come out to the left-hand side here. And he now wins a free kick off here. Mendes Gomez and Hosier Dubry, the two wide men, have switched recently here for Bolton Wanderers. The three changes now happening for Preston North End. Potts is off. Ali McCann coming on in place of the number 44. Mas Frockyart is going to be replaced by Stefan Tordarsen. Boos for Mas Frockyart. It's a pre-season friendly. And Robbie Brady replaced by Andrej Vukcevic. 10-time Montenegrin international. Who has impressed during pre-season for North End and has been rewarded with a permanent contract. Sheehan delivers this one in, and Dacres Cogley got there. Whilst it's not ended with an effort on target, perhaps Bolton's best of the game. Dacres Cogley, who was on the score sheet on Tuesday night in a 5-2 win for Bolton against Shrewsbury, managed to get into the box unmarked there, but only head over. McCann back to Offia. Offia now into McCann. Offia's now getting booed. Having given away a couple of free kicks. Everson forward up towards Jefferson. Doesn't quite stick for Preston North End. It is very much more now a 3-5-2 for Preston North End. And Mendes Gomez tries to make inroads down the left. Offia deals with him. And does block it behind for a corner. Frockyart replaced. Tordarsen on in his place. He's not going to quite offer that same balance over to the left-hand side. But of course, the physical output that he and McCann can offer together in that midfield really was a strong partnership that built through last season for PNE before, of course, Ali McCann missed the final weeks of the season. Sheehan Puts the ball in and it's gathered well by Daniel Everson. A real commanding presence. And happy to come and catch those lofted balls into the box. As he rolls it out to the left for Tordarson. Tordarson looking for a switch of play here to Small. Small can't take that one in. And another change here coming for PNE. Offia, who has tried to run off that ankle complaint. With the new season just 2 weeks away for PNE, looks as though no risk is going to be taken with him. And Jordan Story will come on in his place on the right-hand side of defence. Conway switch of play. Cozier Dubry certainly got the home fans on the edge of the seats today. Sheehan out to the right-hand side. Dacres Cogley has the support of McAtee. Trying to turn the cross in first time. Hughes blocks behind for a corner. Midway point of the second half. Corner taken quick. Cozier Dubry chipped it in and Gibson heads away. Small's ball out, intercepted by Morley. Couldn't take it on though. And is out for a throw. Gibson switches out to the far side. Sunshine beaming down in Greater Manchester. Vukcevic to Tordarson. Whiteman to McCann. North End at the moment unable to really make much happen the other side of the halfway line. McCann gives it into Story. Tordarson to Whiteman. Gibson now with Tordarson. Tordarson has scored, of course, has scored in pre-season. Got the only goal in the win at Victory Park over Chorley. And Liam Lindsay's also been on target for PNE, where goals have been in short supply in pre-season for North End. It does feel as though additions could still happen, perhaps at the top end of the pitch. Have to wait and see what does unfold through, of course, the rest of the transfer window. As Everson looks towards Small, goes over his head, and it is a throw for Bolton, who just over 20 minutes to play. Look as though they are now going to begin to make changes. I wonder how close to a starting 11 this might well be for Stephen Schumacher and his side. Trying to get minutes into those legs before the kick-off as Jefferson finds Osmajic, got the shot away, but felt as though he was clipped by Toll as he did so. Referee happy that he was able to get a clean strike on goal. Sharman Lowe with another smart save. Osmajic, Smith and Jefferson have all had chances at the top end of the pitch this afternoon for PNE. Sharman Lowe yet to be beaten. Good work between Jefferson and Osmajic. Tordarson into McCann. Is that going to put some wind in PNE's sails? Small from a standing start, tries to tease in Conway. McCann, Whiteman and Tordarson were trying to just shift the ball in the midfield to open up a pocket of space. Didn't quite come off. Dakers Cogley up towards Lawrence. Sheehan sees his ball intercepted by Vukcevic. Tordarson. Vukcevic, the latest overseas signing to arrive at Preston North End, following in the footsteps of the likes of Milutin Osmaic, Maz Frokjar, Stefan Tordarson, and now, of course, Vukcevic. Emil Risu moved on in the summer, of course, another of those who's come from playing overseas prior to his time at PNE. Ball fed forward here for Thierry Small. Taken out of possession though by Conway. Bolton have 5 changes ready. This may be the junction at which they introduce them. Going to be replaced. Xavier Simons, formerly of Chelsea and Hull City, is going to come on in his place. Let's say Tutu also coming on. Towel is off. Farini will be on for him. Lawrence off at the top end of the pitch, and Dakers Cogley as well. Might take a moment just to work out quite how Bolton will line up now. And Small gives it into McCann, gets it back, teasing cross to the far post. Jordi Asay Tutu. Immediately they're having to deal with the threat of Stefan Tordarson. Up to McAtee, who now is going to play that role as the furthest forward attacking option for Bolton. Cozier Dubry here picks it up, gets to the edge of the box, shoots and finds the corner. The deflection off Andrew Hughes. But Cozier Dubry, who has looked Bolton Wanderers' most lively player throughout the afternoon, has found a way to break the stalemate. That makes it Bolton Wanderers 1, Preston North End 0. The new loanee making himself at home. Took the ball on, had the PNE backline retreating. And as he let fly from the edge of the box, got a kind deflection off Andrew Hughes. That wrong-footed Daniel Everson. And Bolton have the breakthrough. "16 minutes to play. The Tough Sheet Community Stadium. PNE a goal behind. These two sides did meet in pre-season action 4 years ago now. That game was actually hosted at the Lancashire FA base at Leyland. Bolton won 1-0 on that occasion. Gethin Jones scored the only goal of that game. North End looking for a reply. Small from the right flank, tried to send the cross in. It is deemed to have actually stayed in play. The keeper, Teddy Sharman Lowe, was claiming it had curled out of play, but the official on the near side happy that it had stayed in. has been the two 20-year-old right wingers. Cozier Dewberry for Bolton Wanderers, he has the goal. Thierry Small for Preston North End, who have looked the most likely to make things happen today. It is the Bolton man who's so far the only one with his name on the score sheet. As Conway chips it forward here. Gibson, no nonsense, sends it forward. Jefferson back for McCann. Now it is with Small. Small waited for it to come to him. Conway able to intercept. Gale now finds Randall. Randall pushing Peony back. Now back with Gale. Fresh legs on the left wing for Bolton. Cuts it across the box. And there's a second. And it's Joel Randall who applies the finishing touch. It was he and Gale who were linking down the left-hand side. And as Gale made it to the byline, stopping the ball from rolling out of play, he sent it across the 6-yard box. And there, following in, was Joel Randall to tap in. Bolton 2, Preston North End 0. The substitutes linking well in attack, and 2 goals in 2 minutes. Have Bolton Wanderers 2 to the good. Hughes, who was unfortunate with the deflection for the first goal, has gone down here since that ball was put in the back of the net. He isn't moving freely as he picks himself back up. The only other defensive option PNE have on the bench is Paul Valentine. Of course, Jordan Story could move into the centre of defence, and Valentine, right fullback, could come on should Hughes need to be withdrawn. No Liam Lindsay amongst the matchday options for Paul Heckingbottom today. Siemens here. Sprays it forward for Cozier Dewberry, trying to run away from Hughes. Drags his shot across the face of goal. The 5 players Bolton brought on do seem to have really lifted their energy and given them a second win. Siemens there in the midfield, immediately trying to get Bolton going forward. Ball bounces off Conway here, or Smajic. Gives it into Small, then goes down. And having had it coming together there with Chris Farino, and it's the Bolton centre-half who is the 3rd Bolton player to go in the book. 11 minutes to play here at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Shom and Inwood now about to come on for Bolton. Cozier Dewberry comes off to a standing ovation. There's no way he won't be on the list for Bolton's starting 11 away at Stockport next weekend, you wouldn't have thought. So Shom and Inwood, the 2 players now who do come on. Conway the other withdrawn. The sun shining down in Horwich, albeit grey clouds gathering overhead, and the referee, having booked Farino before the substitutions took place, is still having a word here with the Bolton centre-back. Whiteman with this free kick. Hughes into Vukcevic. Everson clips it forward. Valentine will be on before too long for PNE. McCann trying to seize upon a knockdown here. But it was met well by Siemens. Whiteman then takes it on. Jefferson looks as though he may well have overrun this. Johnston coming across. Now wearing the captain's armband, the number 6 for Bolton. Puts it into touch. It has been, for a pre-season friendly, as much needle as I can remember. Valentine coming on, and it is going to be Hughes who makes way for the Spaniard. Valentine set to launch this one into the penalty area, headed away there by Inwood. Valentine racing to get there before McAtee, who was trying to get to it before it went out of play and get Bolton away on the counter. Valentine into Whiteman. Story up to Jefferson. Sheehan comes across. Siemens drops it off and Johnston clears. Gibson heads down toward Arson. Toward Arson to McCann. Seven and a half to play. Bolton 2-0 up here. As Johnston hits it forward and easy to gather for Daniel Everson. Conceding in groups did become an issue for PNE at the end of last season. Conceded 2 or more 18 times in all in the Championship last season, including in each of the last 6 games, during which time, of course, PNE did slide towards the relegation trapdoor. Story overhits that one as he tried to send it forward for Jefferson. Sharman Lowe watches it into the penalty area. And then he's pulled back by Daniel Jefferson. As Ben Whiteman's going to get called over here with George Johnston, the Bolton captain, and I think the referee is just going to say that it might be pre-season, but still, come on. No need for things like that. The referee also here having a word with Thierry Small. Not entirely sure what that's about. McCann caught late there in the aerial duel by Sheehan. Bolton with another couple of changes here. David Amimbola is going to come on. John McAtee and Josh Sheehan, those replaced. Sonny Sharples Ahmed as well. He'll come on into the midfield. A neat ball player. And at the top end of the pitch, Amimbola will replace McAtee. Osmajic leaves Farino on the deck there as he tried to get away from him. Those two, of course, have already had a coming together. Referee just has a gentle word in the ear of Chris Farino. Referee will probably be glad to get away with both sets of players on the pitch from this pre-season game. Not often you say that. 5 to play. Gibson finds Vukcevic. Is there a chance for North End to find a way through before the action is out? Two weeks today, PNE start the league action down at Loftus Road against Queen's Park Rangers. Valentine running into the midfield area there. Whiteman out to the right for Small. Did well to keep it in play. Small, who's had time in both the academies of Everton and Southampton prior to his move to Charlton Athletic, where he really did shine. Part of the Charlton side, who of course are back in the second tier this season after winning at Wembley. North End know how that feels. PNE's last promotion, of course, 2015 coming under the arch in North London. Story to Gibson. Bolton heading into what is a 7th season outside the top 2 tiers for them since their championship relegation in 2019. Their longest stretch as a club was 10 years between 1983 and 1993. Before, of course, an ascent that took them into the Premier League, dropped back out briefly. And of course, after winning at Cardiff against PNE, established themselves as a Premier League side under Sam Allardyce, all the way to the UEFA Cup. Valentine. Small was looking for Jefferson, nearly found its way through to Osmajic. Johnston mops up. Siemens. Back to Sharman Lowe. He clears his lines and sent it out to the right wing, looking towards Sean. Last touch seemed to have come off Vukcevic. Sonny Sharples Ahmed, his first involvement. Johnston into Inwood. Trying to feed it out to the wide area, looking for Gale. And from what you hear out here is another player, a bit like Cozy Dewberry, who may well have the ability to get fans on the edge of their seats. Two wingers could be the key men for Bolton this coming season. Valentine to Story. Gibson pumps that one forward. Don't have too much on it for Small to get to. And that may well be that. For the afternoon's action. 1 minute The customary added minute at the end of the 90 here this afternoon at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Few PNE fans behind the goal making their way out as the full-time whistle sounds. Preston North End fall to defeat to the League One neighbours here this afternoon at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Cozier, Dewberry and Randall with second half goals. Two in a matter of moments that took the game beyond Preston North End. Cozier Dewberry's getting a unfortunate deflection off Andrew Hughes to run for Daniel Everson. Randall seizing upon an opportunity in the 6-yard box after Gale did well to not give up on a ball that looked as though it could run out of play. For North End, Smith, Jefferson and Osmajic all had opportunities. The three front men selected through the course of the action but unable to find a way through. North End, of course, still 2 weeks away from the Sky Bet Championship season getting underway. Bolton's season begins in earnest next week. That's it here from the action at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, where it has finished Bolton Wanderers 2, Preston North End 0. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for the action here. We appreciate your time and your company. I hope you can join us again soon. But from the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, that is it. It finishes Bolton Wanderers 2, Preston North End 0.